Duane Wolfe for Police One with my friend here, Lee Chiquette. One of the things that I want you to think about when we talk about armbar takedowns, we learned the arm bars in the academy. And then what oftentimes we get out on the street and we don't have a whole lot of success with them. One of the things you need to remember when you're doing manipulation skills like an armbar, you need to be practicing them on a regular basis. The studies have shown that after 6 months, if you haven't practiced it, you can explain how to do it, but you cannot apply it against a resistive subject. A couple other things that I've seen over the years. If I go in for a straight armbar, all right, I would strongly suggest that anytime you're going to do this, as long as they're compliant, it'll work. If you think you're not going to have compliance, if you're justified, use some type of a distraction, all right? Whether it's a slap, a knee, whatever works for you, whatever your training says. What often happens is this: when I come in for the arm bar, we get this lockup, all right? And when this lockup occurs, because we've gotten stuck in this loop of training with our partner, we forget that there are other options. We'll get here and we'll start doing this dance, and pretty soon I'm chasing this arm, and what's he doing with that hand? And the answer is whatever he wants. So that's a concern for me. The other thing that we've been taught is, for instance, if he raises his elbow up to get away from it, I'm supposed to come here, slip it in here, and move into another arm bar, okay? If he drops his elbow and brings his hand in like this, I'm supposed to slip through here and bring it this way. Last year, when I taught my class here at ILEDA, I asked a room full of defensive tactics instructors how many of them had ever successfully applied a transition, and nobody raised their hands. Well, for me, that's a problem. If you've never successfully transitioned, A, why are we training to transition? B, how much you're training. Now, once again, my Ninja Turtles, if you're doing this every day, you rock on, you know what you can do. For the average officer, it gets a little bit problematic. So what I want you to think about is this. When I feel resistance here, I know from past experience and training that I am not ever going to move this arm once he locks it out. His intent is here. If his mind is here, let's go someplace else. Understanding the OODA loop. He's focused here. I'm going to change the OODA loop on him. What I'm going to do now is, instead of focusing on this arm, is I want to get him on the ground. So I'm going to move to a position of advantage. What I'm going to do from here is I'm simply going to slide up his arm, maintaining control so I don't end up eating this, all right? From here, I can hit him in the back of the head to cause a stun if I want. From here, I'm going to use the concepts of the OODA loop to remind myself how to do this technique. Observe, orient, decide, and act. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take away his vision. There goes his observation. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn his head sideways and bring him back into me. There goes his orientation. I've just spun his inner ear. From here, I'm going to decide and act. I've decided that I'm going to throw him down on his face and follow him to the ground. And from here, all I'm going to do is step out and lay him face down on the mat. Okay? So all we're working on there is this quick transition. When I feel that resistance, have a backup plan for it when this doesn't work. If I've never transitioned, if I've never run that motor skill, we're going to get locked in here doing the dance. I don't want to do that dance. I want to move to position of advantage and finish the fight whatever way I have to, whatever's authorized. If I want, I could take out my taser. I could shoot him in one buttock, bring it up over the top. Now I've crossed hemispheres and I've crossed sides. I can do a drive stun. The probes are close, but I'll get a good contact here, and I can take him down. Whatever your training says, whatever your level of force is authorized, have that transition in mind. For Police One, I'm Duane Wolfe. Stay safe.